brass band, y'all. If you ride with the rebirth, if you rollin' with the rebirth, then let me hear you sing this song right here, y'all. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. Well, if you gon' dance, get on the dance floor. And if you don't move, then you better hit the door to keep that groove, y'all. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Say the bird gon' make you move, y'all. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Keep that groove, y'all. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Bird gon' make you move, y'all. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. Ain't nothing like a reverse groove. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. If you gon' roll with me, let's roll. If you gon' ride with me, let's ride. Mike sounds all this time, bringing it back. Yes, yes, y'all, we bringing it back with a new school track, talking about art stuff. That was weird. Had to start that off with, normally we do the yes, yes, y'all stuff, and it's like, little technical difficulties, but hey, that's natural stuff, right? It happens. You know what I mean? Shout out to Matt for being best engineer in the whole entire world. Yo, for everybody that's tuning in, S.STREET Media, another Sunday. We are here once again. Art School, it's your host, your baby moms, a.k.a. the multicolored Power Ranger, a.k.a. the Silverist, the Surferist, a.k.a. Professor X, because I handle all my business sitting down. And we are here on this. It was kind of, it hasn't been one of those brick McSchmick Sundays, but today, January 27th, 2019, this is episode 25, and we're back with another groovy time for all those that are tuning in and all this. Let me get in front of my live. I had 4 people on my live earlier. I was like, yes, made it, So, without further to do, as I continue on to travel within the universe of the art world, I bump into a bunch of people. I bump into a whole bunch of creators, and I had the I was fortunate enough to work within an art store. That I just would just talk to everybody, be like, hey, what you doing? What you getting into? And things like this. So, prior to math, like I say in every beginning of every episode, giving me this opportunity to do this, I already was in the plans of just wanting to talk to artists or just being in the know what's going on. And now we get the opportunity to actually sit down and talk about it a little bit more. But, like I said, without furthermore to do, I'd like to welcome tonight's guest, a wonderful young woman named Jessica Swindoll, y'all. Let's give it up, y'all. Artists and Craftsmen connect this. Artists and Craftsmen Supply made this happen. Mm-hmm. You just came in the store one day. I forgot what we were talking about.
I know, right? Crazy is cool. I think we were talking about this actually for your podcast and everything going on here at S.STREET.
I was like, yo, what's up? Like, let's make something happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And recently, like I said, you've been on a tear. You've been living that New York City life. That little New York City art life.
Brooklyn, for sure.
Yeah, where you're in the streets. You're at these train stations. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
First
part,
step, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that stripe that you must earn as an artist in New York City, going into the trains and, just working on your entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? So I like that. I want to talk a little bit more about the beginning, though. I know, like I said, meeting you in the store, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, but it really was only
probably 6 months ago or something like that. But where does this start? Was this something? This was like a gift. This was the when the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star line was over your head? Was that, you know, I mean, the casting gift for you? Or how did that?
I feel like the painting actually came to me later on in my I feel like my exploration of all the arts. I was raised by an audio engineer. So my dad was just always like bring me into the studio. I took piano as a very at a small age. Did choir. I was just like always surrounded by like instruments and music and stuff like that. And then I got a little bit older. I had a couple people in my life who introduced me to the arts in a way that I had never really seen before. I had a really good friend of mine at the time named Langston, who took me to my first museum ever. And I hadn't gone until I was like 14 or 15. Like, I don't know why no one had ever like taken me. But I went into the spot, and he took me to one that wasn't like the Met and wasn't like, you know, this historical museum. It was definitely like a modern art, like really, you know, out there, super expressionist. And I saw it, and I saw these giant paintings, and I'm like, what is this world?
This is
Langston Dillard.
Yo,
so much love.
So we know this is pretty early, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even get to, you know, where you're from and all this other stuff. But normally there's a time, you know what I mean, during the episode where we say, hey, you know, it's probably about 15 minutes in, right? And it's like, hey, who gave you a little spark? But shout out to Langston Dillard, man, because you made that happen here, man. Your roses, man, you deserve them, bro. People like Langston are important.
Yeah.
Very important.
For sure. Vital. You know? And I feel like it's hard to even talk about like how I got into all this without mentioning names like that. You know, like all these people who like helped me get there.
So it's a modern, you see like you get into the modern work, it's more expressionist.
Right, yeah. So I saw all that. And around the same time, like I had never heard hip hop music before. My same friend introduced me to that. I just like had grown up in this in a way that was like really sheltered, and then my world was kind of opened. And yeah, so I was introduced to art, and I started going to museums, and I was like really into it, but I didn't think that I could do it. I just didn't think I was like, you know, I've always done music. I've never really like been artistically like, you know, talented or whatever. And then kind of like randomly just went through, right at the turn of the year, like around New Year's, went through like a really bad breakup.
That'll do it.
For real, yeah, honestly, which is like kind of cheesy or whatever, but it definitely sparked like inspiration for me to just sit down and take a minute and paint. Yeah. And then, I started from there. Honestly, once I made my first piece, it was like there's no going back. Like that was it.
Was there ever a time where this was like, this is all you, there's no school?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's still art school, or there's you just doing this on your own independence? That's what that was?
Completely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've never taken an art class or like a painting or drawing or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely all just like experimenting and trying new things and breaking out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. How you said you never listened to hip hop before? What I mean, a little bit more about the background. For sure. What is this? This is like Mormontown or something? What is this?
Right, yeah. No, it's Texas. So basically, yeah.
Like what part of Texas?
North like Dallas area. Very like Christian, you know, religious and white and all that. So yeah, just a problem. But I like was lucky enough to like Langston, same friend, like took me on a car ride one time. I was young and I was with like thank you. I was with like all his older friends, and I just felt like, yo, like this is really like new and cool or whatever. And they played Frank Ocean, Super Rich Kids. Like not even like
it's a movie.
I know.
This is a movie.
I know. And like I heard it, and we were like driving on the highway, and I'm like, yo, what is this? Like I've never heard like a beat like that. And like same thing with painting, like hip hop was the same thing. Like once I heard that type of music, it was just like, this is all I'm gonna listen to.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do.
There's this one thing where, you know, like I try my hardest not to interview the musicians with this show, and I'm just like, man, I can't really do that because there's so many streamings. Well, there's so many opportunities for musicians to thrive, but I have to give it up because, you know, sometimes we kind of separate the two, and it's like, no, that same moment when you're noticing like the Super Rich Kids, and then you get in, you know what I mean, this this new whiff of art is pretty cool.
Yeah,
You know.
totally.
But do you remember the first piece that you seen that was like?
Well, I definitely remember the first museum was full of portraiture, and really like almost like cartoony, like you think of like Andy Warhol or Roy Lichtenstein, like very like realistic, but like a comic book almost, you know. And I don't think I'd ever really seen modern art like that before. It was really inspiring.
Oh, that was cool, and that was in Texas as well.
Yeah, it was. And I moved pretty much right after that to Washington State on the West Coast.
Okay.
And that was when I really started like going in on my craft and just getting focused on visual art.
Artists and Craftsman Supply actually their flagship store is in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. I'd never heard of it till I moved
Yeah,
here.
and it was that's like the 100K a day store. 100K a day. You know, it's
Damn,
crazy.
that's crazy.
So shout out to Seattle, Washington, man.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody in Washington because
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to talk to the Champagne Show, another podcast. Shout outs to the girls out there. They're located out of I don't want to say it wrong, but something with a TU and Washington, and they're talking about coming out here and featuring. But enough
Dope.
about that. You know, we're
Everybody's
going into the
connected.
modern art. I mean, what else were you doing at this time? I
So yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird how it aligned with also just like personal things like going on in my own life. Like I said, Texas was really sheltered, and then by the time I moved to Washington, my mind had kind of opened up, and I had just like felt more like I could kind of do what I wanted to and like be myself and explore like who I wanted to become and all that. It was around the same time that I came out about being bisexual and, you know, just like decided that it was okay to pursue art as a career instead of just a hobby. But yeah, so like all through high school, I was really like good at school, like really passionate about school, always wanted to go to college. And, you know, once I found out about art, I was like, well, I'm going to go to an art school. You know, like I'm going to go to, you know, someplace in New York, someplace in Seattle. But the only thing was that my family has always just been very, like, poor. Like, we've never really had a lot of money. And so, you know, I wanted to go to school and do all that, and I applied, and I got in, and I got scholarships and everything, but it just wasn't enough. And I didn't have the money to go.
Do you think that's important? Do you think that we really need to pay for art school?
I'm so thankful I didn't go.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, you know, that... And I think life like works out in weird ways like that, where you just are given like what you're supposed to have.
In some instances, I really think about the institutions, and
Yeah.
that's why I guess this is here now, where we're talking about art school, and it's more or less like the networks, or you know, or if I want to become get a little stamp or a star added next to my name for your alum. Or something like that, but most of the time it's just networks, you know. And
Exactly.
I think that if you're placing yourself, you know, what I mean, in those right places, which it sounds like that's where you was headed to, you know, you're now moving to Seattle, or you're moving to Washington, and you're out there now. How's that look? What was going on out there?
That was me just getting established with starting my career as an artist, starting practicing. I feel like that really is even better, in my opinion, for my like artistic craft. I'd say practice and just hours putting the work into your studio has been the biggest teacher for me. Yeah, so like Washington was really about that, just starting out. Like you just have to put, you know, like music, like anything that you care about, you just have to put the practice in. So Washington was really that for me, just getting started, getting some initial pieces out. And then I moved to New York only, 2 years ago now? And I feel like that was more of like, all right, like I'm very serious about this. This is a career move that I want to make. And knowing that I couldn't, especially knowing that I couldn't afford to go to school, it was like, well, if I can't go to school, I might as well just go to like the most artistically, like, you know, robust place in the world. And yeah, start pursuing the arts there. And that's kind of like how I ended up here.
And just said, you know what? Here I am.
Yeah.
What did it smell like when you first came to New York? Cause,
you want to know?
Yeah, what was the smell like? How did that, like, what was the first thing that you seen when you came to New York?
Ooh. You know what's crazy is I actually came here to sell a piece. Because I had this person who I like just really admired her art. Her name is Isa Gui. And she randomly had on her Instagram just a picture that I really liked. And so I painted it. And then I contacted the guy who I painted, and I was like, hey, I just want you to know I painted this picture of you. I'm going to post it. He was like, yo, I want to buy this. Like, come into the city and, like, bring me this art and blah, blah, blah. Um, and so, yeah, that was, like, kind of how I, like, originally, like, came and, like, why I, like, I mean, I came here for sure to, like, pursue the arts and everything, but the reason I came, like, at that time was to sell that art.
That's amazing.
I know, it's so, like,
That's amazing. Like
all the
you coming into the city, and you're already kind of like, I got a little gist, I got a little, you know what I mean, spark for the spark plug. Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
that's
Definitely
pretty
motivating.
cool. That's Yeah, that's hot. I like that. Damn. Here at S.STREET Media, we like to give those uh, credit when due, and that sounds like my fair lady. That's a lot of credit right there.
For sure, yeah,
That's
he
very
deserves that.
yeah, because I wish I would. Well, when I think about traveling and stuff like that, you normally don't come in like that. You know what I mean? Pursuing your craft.
Word.
You think about it, you're like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
I feel like New York is so full of the arts that it's hard to come here and not we were saying, like run into somebody who's gonna push you further or whatever.
yeah, that's a super fact. That's actually I seen that on Snapple Cap this morning. What you just said about being in New York, you're more than likely gonna run into someone who's gonna push you. Yeah, New York they got their own Snapple facts now. It's pretty cool. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
You know.
There's been so many people here who have like changed a lot for me, for sure.
So now, is that like you said a piece for the guy, right?
Yeah.
Is that the style that you was running with, or you was just practicing a whole bunch of different things? So.
That was a portrait, and I've honestly, like, even before I started painting, when I did photography, I've always done portraiture, and like that's definitely almost like my medium, I would say, even though it's not like painting or music or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's definitely stayed consistent for sure.
Yeah, so what is the style like now? Or what type of style would you consider that to be?
That's a good question. I have like I said, I didn't go to school, so when people start talking to me about like art history and names for things and artists and stuff like that, I kind of falter. That's the one thing about going to school is you have to put in those hours too of like reading and studying and all that stuff. So I don't know the name for my style. I would definitely describe it as like a lot of portraiture, very colorful, very abstract. Lately with the circle, I've been doing these like circle pieces recently. And I feel like I've established something new, like a new style that hasn't really like I've seen before, called energy portraiture, where like I'm doing a portrait of a person, but it's nothing about their identity, their whatever, anything except their energy.
Yeah, understood. That's crazy. You rock with a lot of colors too. I peeped that.
For sure.
I wanted to know, was that something that you felt like was missing in Texas, and that's why you kind of like went to like using a whole bunch of colors and things like that? Because I know just thinking, being from a so-called marginalized community, you always see like the same type of colors.
Word.
So you have to stand out. You know what I mean? When you're wearing anything, you know what I mean? Because you're up against like burgundies and grays and this pea green, or the Parks Department green. Yeah, that's an ugly green too. What else? Yeah, so those, like that cement. So was there a lot of color in Texas where you was at, since you said it was like kind of closed in
yeah.
to make you want to do that? Or that was just like...
And same, I mean, you'd think the same with Seattle too, like mad rainy and gray and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day, about like why I use color so much, and I was like, I've never really thought about it intentionally to like be like, okay, I'm going to like make a really colorful piece. I think it's more just like how I see the world. Like the colors are more just like how I express like emotions or ideas or feelings and stuff like that. And it's less about like wanting to catch somebody's eye or whatever. It's more just like how I like perceive things. If that makes sense.
No, that makes my sense. I like that. I understand that. Because when I come through with the multicolored flex.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, I think about we are the world, we are the children, and let us make it a better place for you and me.
Yes.
We are the world, we are the world, we are the future. Right? That's pretty cool.
For
I've
sure.
I've been looking at the work. I'm saying, you're working on a few different textiles, which
Mhm.
is pretty dope. We're gonna get into that a little
Word.
bit more.
Mhm.
You have some things coming up.
Mhm.
We're gonna get into that a little bit more. Another episode. It's Sunday. It's been pretty brisky. Like I said, and I always talk about this. I got the best playlist on my show. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to hate or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the songs, number one, King Selector. You heard? I will clash anybody that wants to smoke. You know what I'm saying? With the sounds them. Are you reading any books right now?
Oh, good question. You know, I actually am. I think I have it with me. It's called Art and Fear.
Mm.
It's so good. Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't heard about
Oh my
that.
god. It's basically just like explaining like all the hesitancies and the reasons why artists stop painting, um, and giving you like tools and just like ideas to help overcome like stopping from making art.
Yo, shout outs to Crowns and Head Ties for being in the building once again. Yo,
Yeah.
they have a band.
Word?
Yeah.
Y'all make music too?
Yeah.
Made music for all the scrubs like him out here.
It's called Spice Rum. Cookies and cream and spice rum.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's the name. That's the name of their group. They sold two hard copies and they streamed 200 times on Spotify. So they,
Word.
yeah, they're pretty lit right
Qualified.
now. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? They're qualified to say that they, are good individuals.
Mhm.
We got Jess up here. We were Texas, right?
Mhm.
Seattle. You're moving on to New York.
Mhm.
You know,
Loving it here.
2 years now.
Mhm. Feel super at home.
Yeah.
Mhm. I love Brooklyn. I feel like Brooklyn has got like my favorite vibe between like here, Manhattan, the Bronx, all that.
Hmm. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's from the town. Y'all already know how we giving it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that wants to be from the town and all that, just gotta come see the mayor. If you're going to the east, you gotta go see Foot. If you're going to the side, you gotta go see Billy on. Uh, who else? Oh, Mano, one of them. Yo, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. It's your host, Richard Mose, you know what I'm saying? Your baby moms, a.k.a. the Sylvester Surfers, a.k.a. the Multicolored Power Ranger, a.k.a. Professor X, because I handle all my business sitting down. Yo, my sis had a show yesterday. It was pretty cool.
Where?
Yeah, she had a show. Shout outs to Zippy. She had a nice little show. She put out some brand new pieces.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Things like that.
What kind of style is she doing?
Beast. That's the name of the style.
Period.
Yeah, it's called Beast. Yeah. Uh, what else can I say? I really don't know. I was just really impressed because we're looking at entrepreneurs and, part of you moving to New York City is, to be an entrepreneur. That's something that you was thinking about from the beginning.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mhm. I feel like, like I said, not being able to afford school, this was definitely like the best move as an independent artist.
Yeah.
I feel like, it's either here or like some other country.
Yeah.
There's so much inspiration here for sure.
There's a lot. There's a lot of inspiration,
Mhm.
and you moving to Brooklyn is like, you know what I mean? It's
I
like
know.
the mecca in certain
Bushwick,
instances.
really.
Yeah, Bushwick, whatever, but Brooklyn still is like you can find us anywhere on the face of the earth. Anywhere you go, you can find somebody from Brooklyn there, and we've been treating you well, peeping the style, how's it's coming about, and things that matter. Now you're working harder and harder and harder. You plan on staying here?
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like I meet a lot of people here who see themselves leaving, but I feel like this is home. Like, I've never been somewhere where I felt like I could be myself so fluidly.
Would
for
you
sure.
take this back to Texas, or would you take
Oh,
like?
good question.
Yeah, would
I feel like that's unnecessary for sure. Like, as soon as I don't want to jinx myself, but as soon as I have like shows in museums and stuff like that, I feel like there's nothing more important than going back and sharing that gift, especially like we were saying with the people who inspired me to like take this path
Langston.
in the first place.
Langston.
Yeah, and other people, and you know,
And
so
other
many,
people.
so many.
Yeah, we
uh-huh.
gotta, make sure Langston comes to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like,
That's what
you
started.
know,
Mhm.
you have some, I don't know, the option. You talking about vegan? You said you
I'm vegetarian.
yeah, right, vegetarian,
Mhm.
right? What would those options be at your show? What would those food options be like?
Food options?
Yeah.
Good question. I feel like it's pretty easy to eat vegetarian. You can still have chips. You can still have pizza. You can still have, stuff like that. For sure.
Okay. I'm expecting pizza.
All right, but expecting pizza. Heard
I'm
you.
expecting pizza. Our show is not lit if it don't have pizza in it. Okay,
That's a fact.
It's over. All right, all shows must have pizza. All right. To the ladies in the back over there that's taking 1 billion pictures, she's a photographer as well. You know what I'm saying, right? We're gonna incorporate the two because I don't understand how much space in your phone is needed to see the same nostril. It's pretty hard drawing nostrils at times as
I
well
know,
too.
yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that the nostril so it doesn't flare up. Look like you got a nose hair hanging out. Everybody that's been tuning in for episode 25. Ooh, excuse me. Episode 25 of our school, yo. That's pretty crazy. It's been like that. And like I'm in a Civic right now, but the rims I'm keeping them clean, and that's what we're doing here. We want to continue on with the continuous. Yo, we're gonna go into a little short break. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing some second line music. You know what I'm saying, from the New Orleans squad, for my New Orleans gang. I'm really my man Keezy is in New Orleans right now. He's going crazy. He is going crazy. Shout out to my boy Keezy. He is tearing New Orleans up right now. Yo, you go, girl. Everybody that's out there that's keeping the, painting alive, things like that. New Orleans squad, we appreciate y'all. Texas, Seattle. Everybody that's tuning in. Hopefully, we get to go to Seattle one day, Gonna go to South by Southwest soon. You know what I mean? That's gangland over there. You know what I'm saying? S.STREET Media. Yo, I've been wearing this hat all day, like Papa Smurf. Yo, and I was thinking about it. Why does Papa Smurf wear a red hat? I asked this question the other day. Why does Papa Smurf wear a red hat? Can somebody tell me why Papa Smurf wears a red hat? Huh? Why doesn't Papa Smurf have a blue hat? Or a white hat or something like, why, or, you know what I'm saying? Why is it a red hat? Yo, the mysteries of the cartoon world, right? Before we go, we're going to get into the song. What's your favorite cartoon?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Heard you. Gangland. Yo, Math, the engineer of the year. Yo, whenever you ready, you know what I'm saying? Quick break, more second line, you know what I'm saying? Because I got the best songs on the playlist. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Will I shine like the star, bright as the hot? Mama don't cry. Will I be kicking the breeze, hanging on St. Philip Street? Mama don't cry. All I can act the rascals who come on and roll with me. Roll with me. Roll with me. Rock with me. Rock with me. Just roll with me. Roll with me. Rock with me. Come on and roll with me. Roll with me. Rock with me. Roll with me. Roll with me. Who that shot D-boy? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot Love Monkey? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot Doc Gutter? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot your people? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Gotta get him, gotta get him. Everybody dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, dip, dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, dip, dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, dip, dip, baby dip. Wipe your rear, mama don't cry. Mama don't cry. The sick never do a dime. Mama don't cry. Drugs and prostitution, people will die. Mama don't cry. Say there's no cure for AIDS, that's a lie. Mama don't cry. 10 years from now, where will I be? Mama don't cry. Will I shine like the star, bright as the eyes can see? Mama don't cry. Will I be kicking the breeze, hanging on St. Philip Street? Mama don't cry. All I can ask is sticks, come on and roll with me. Give me a dime. I only got eight. Oh, give me a dime. I only got eight. Baby, give me a dime. I only got eight. I got give me a dime. I only got eight.
That's because we are back and you are supposed to dance 7 minutes to a song. You're not supposed to dance for 25 seconds to a song. That's a workout plan going wrong. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Heineken for not sponsoring us. But we're drinking your beer, okay? So come on up here and like you always at other festivals and things like that, and you know what I mean, you want to throw you know what I mean, commercialized stuff on these events that you got a mural done for yourself. Come sponsor some of these artists out here. You know what I'm saying? Another episode of Art School. We're here with Jessica Swindoll. Yeah, did I say it right?
Swindoll.
Swindoll.
That's perfect.
Was there ever times where like the last name would like your last name would like get joked or
Just like you said it, Swindoll all the
Swindoll.
time. That's regular. I feel like you have to let your nickname or whatever short name like come to you, and I'm still waiting on that. My name is mad long, so like I feel like eventually I'm gonna need to shorten it to something.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Like, what's your artist name? Because we're in New York.
Right?
Everybody
Yeah.
has
Don't go
this,
by your real name.
or not even just your real name. It's more or less the name of who you are
Yeah.
as an artist. You know, have you found that yet, or is just coming with style?
That's the thing. I feel like it has to find me. Like I don't want to force it. I don't want to like sit down and be like, oh, what's my name gonna be? You know, like I'd rather it just be natural. And I'm not really stressed about that, but it is something I want to do eventually for sure.
The flow is natural. I peeped that in your work.
What?
It doesn't seem like it's rushed. It doesn't seem like it's a process of fill a bar. You know what I mean? It looks like it's a flow.
For
you know?
sure.
Is that what you're practicing?
Yeah. I was thinking about this today, how like the process of a painting doesn't even start like in the studio. You know, like it's so many like months before of just your experiences and. For me, I would say a big part of my process is definitely like inspiration, going out talking to other artists, going to other museums, going to galleries, and then of course just like personal experience, stuff like that, and then putting all of that into one image.
You watching anybody in particular right now when it comes to the
For
work?
sure, yeah. There's a couple artists I would say. There's one. I would say first like big artists, Yayoi Kusama. Maybe you've heard of her, maybe you've seen her work. She does these infinity nets and infinity rooms where Like she has this one where you walk into a room full of mirrors and it's got like candles everywhere, and you close the door behind you, and it looks like you're in like this infinite like world of like light.
Yeah, that looks like my bathroom. I have an infinity. I have an infinity bathroom inside my bathroom. You
It's
know
like
what I mean?
multiple mirrors kind of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty. It's pretty wild.
That kind of thing where
I
it's
normally
like
lose myself in the bathroom.
in your own reflection.
You know.
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else
Yeah,
out
for
there?
sure. There's this person, Marina Abramovich, who does like performance art.
Yeah, I know
You've
talking
heard of
about.
her.
Yeah.
Everybody knows her. She's like, she did this one piece where it was her and her partner, and there's an arrow, and she like leaned back on the arrow with the so it was taunt.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I forgot which one. I was reading something about her. She did something with like she was nude and she just had like a whole
Yeah.
bunch of men just like fondle her and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah. If y'all don't know, for everybody that's into the art world and things like that, the artist that we just mentioned, she was in Jay-Z's video,
Yeah.
pretty much. So for all you hip hop, you know what I mean, hoppers that are like, what are we talking about? She was the one that was like staring in Jay-Z's face like this. It was like, you know, for $100 million.
Dramatic.
Mad dramatic and stuff. I was like, yeah.
Love her.
you know,
She's dope because like I respect art. Like I said, like Kusama, same thing. Like it doesn't really have to be a painter.
Yeah.
To inspire me. It can be anything that's just like really powerful artistically.
Yeah, she's pretty out there. Hey, I want to do a show with you. So if you ever want to come on up here, come on up. You know what I'm saying? Come talk to an artist like yourself. You know what I'm saying? We in a room. Yo, you can probably roll up with us too. I know you smoke bud. You know what I'm saying? So
Doing that right
here,
now.
yeah. So stop playing. Come roll up and come talk to us because I wanna do an installation too where I just walk around with my whole shmeat out, right? I wanna walk around with my shmeat out, but I wanna have it wrapped up in money. So like I wanna show the importance of these are art things. Excuse me.
Heard you. No, that actually sounds dope. I get
Yeah,
the concept
you
you're going
feel me?
for
You know
there.
it's
I feel the
contemporary
concept.
because we contemporaries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a new word.
That means something.
Hey, so now you're in a process like you've been working, you got some things coming up.
I do. We're doing a show here on Saturday.
Oh shit, fire.
Yes. Solo
More.
show. It's going to be dope. Feel free to come out, bring your pocketbook. We're going to have some really good paintings, some new stuff that I haven't released yet.
Fire.
Yeah,
How you
it'll
feel
be really
about
dope.
that?
I feel good. I feel like my number one favorite is live painting. So getting to do, really interactive, letting people into my process, stuff like that. And then solo shows like this, I feel like are a good opportunity for me to reflect. Really,
Yeah, go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
It's certain instances because I think sometimes as artists we also get so
Yep.
pumped up on doing the individual show because a little selfishness or whatever we got, or just to prove ourselves. And it's a time to actually process the, like you said, being in New York City, being an entrepreneur, you got to understand the business side of it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I feel like it's so easy, when you're making so much work to not look at any of it and to not, go back and be like, this is what I made and this is my collection. And I feel like, it's so easy for me to just constantly like be working and painting in my studio, but to go back and like look at everything all together, I feel like it's going to be a dope opportunity.
Is there a name for the collection that you're going to put out this
Ooh,
Saturday?
well, energy portraiture for
Okay.
sure, with the circles. But otherwise, no, yeah, I'm very like, I don't like to hold myself yet, to one thing. I really like to experiment and let myself do what I want. So it'll be a good mashup.
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. We expecting that fly tonight, baby, because it's going down
Hey.
Saturday.
Word.
We're looking forward to seeing some good work, some colorful work.
Awesome.
There's an energy that I get from it. And I think that's why I was able to just reach out so naturally and just say, hey, what are you getting into? You put that into. There's a spirit behind it. I feel.
For sure.
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh man, this is dope. Another artist out there that's, just making their way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like I'm glad that comes out because that's a really big part of my process is definitely connecting spiritually, connecting with myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that comes across in the work, like that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
So sweet.
that's really important. So to those artists out there, you got to put yourself into your piece, or put a little bit more energy or spirit, or I don't know what to really call it, but you could just tell right?
Yeah, you
could
can
tell.
just feel it.
Yeah,
for real.
you-
We don't even gotta talk about it. You look at the work and you know.
Yeah, just like, all right, because we see detail. We notice the detail. It's
The
like, oh, I didn't
feeling
get that.
behind the piece.
Yeah, but sometimes, for the viewer, we want to give them a little bit more too. So
Word.
for the artists out there, what I mean? Words of the wise on this Sunday. Put some of yourself, put some more energy into that, because there's a lot of pieces out there that's looking kind of,
Or repeats.
yeah.
Same shit over and over again. And it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like everybody has something to offer, and to not be afraid of that. If you have a call to like make something, it doesn't have to look any type of way. You can make whatever you want.
Important.
Whatever you want,
Important. Do you see yourself, going through another change of the work or your style?
For
or?
sure. I see myself, like I said, putting in the hours and practice just has taught me a lot about, not even just like creating and, being diligent, but also just like on paper, like learning how to draw things and learning, like how to, if I have an image in my head, how to put that image on the canvas. And so lately, that's been coming out through figure drawing and more like photorealistic portraiture. And I respect both. Like I used to do a lot of abstract, like super abstract portraiture. And I've just noticed my work like slowly becoming more and more like informed just with the more, practice that I've done. So definitely like probably going to see a lot more like realistic, but still abstracted, still like meaning behind it.
I got you. I feel you. I see where it's going.
Yeah, word.
I feel where it's going. Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
All right. It is not. Yo, listen, man. I love Allen Iverson, and I understand where when he was talking about practice and all this other stuff. But it's important to remain consistent. You know what I'm saying? So to all you artists out there, please, you know what I mean? Practice remaining consistency.
Yes.
Or consistent.
And I feel like, it also, I feel like we all as artists have moments where, no shame. Like everybody has a moment where it's like, man, what am I going to paint or blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I feel like learning to not be afraid of that and to actually lean into it, like, oh, I don't know what to paint. Like, what if I just sit in this emptiness, and like let that be for a minute and respect that and allow that to be part of the process,
Wu-Tang.
Word.
Wu-Tang. I think that's how I'm gonna agree with everything this year. I'm just gonna say Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Shout out to everybody
Yeah.
that likes the Wu-Tang Clan though, because they're pretty cool. Wu-Tang is for the children. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I said your show is coming up.
Yes.
That's this Saturday.
Lots of shows coming up.
You got another show coming on. Who's that with? Lisol? You paying live too?
Yeah.
What date is that?
That's the mad shows coming up. I can't even remember.
Oh God, blood cleat, booked and busy. Oh, booked and blessed. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, we do got a lot going on. On the 20th of February, Soul is having a female empowerment show. It's gonna be very dope. I think she's releasing a flyer on her Instagram, Lay Soul, with all the info on that. But it should be very dope. Lots of female artists, lots of empowerment happening.
Yeah, we know how that goes. Y'all about to put. I think it's you and Zippy. Y'all be painting live and things like that. I can't wait to see that.
That should be dope.
See some more stuff. Crowns and Head Ties is gonna be there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my man Snooky, he gonna be there too. He a bouncer.
Oh,
He told
dope.
me about the spot. he the one in the front of the building. He gonna he gonna make sure that y'all don't have no forks and knives in your bags when y'all enter in the building. Quiet as kept, right? Jade loves forks and knives. She's a hoarder of forks and knives. She steals mad forks and knives. You go in her bag, she has nothing but plastic forks and knives in her bag. I thought it was a game. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah.
You never
She's
know.
like, could you pass me that?
I
I'm
need
like,
that.
I'm looking through it. I'm like, what is all of this in here? This is crazy. What? Do you like ketchup?
Yeah.
You like ketchup? That's cool. What's your favorite color?
Brown.
Brown?
Actually,
Oh,
which people
shout outs
don't
to-
usually expect.
Ooh, shout outs to all the homies out there that's repping that brown. You know what I'm saying? For real, there's a
Brown is all the colors.
brown is all the colors. What type of brown though? Cause there's some browns that are good out there, but then there's some
Whack
browns.
yellow browns that you
Yeah.
just don't even want.
Nah.
Definitely like a deep like chocolate brown for sure. I just like anytime I mix, red, yellow, blue, it makes brown, which is crazy to me. Like the three most like beautiful, vibrant colors, and I think you can see all of them in brown. But yeah,
You
favorite color.
definitely
What
could.
about you?
My favorite color, I don't really have one. I don't have a
Word?
favorite color.
I respect that. I feel you.
I can't. It's hard because I I'm really into like the pinkish, like purplish, like over there. But then I feel like I'm disrespecting the homies on the blue
Right.
side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like I'm also disrespecting the homies on the red side.
You got to choose brown.
Yeah,
It's everybody.
I know. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad about that. Yo, everybody that's been tuning in, I just want to say thank you for being on episode number 25 too, yo. That's pretty
Thank
crazy.
you for having me. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's pretty dope. Yeah, think about it. Famous people born on the 25th.
Ooh,
You know any?
Jesus.
Heard you. Yup, there you go, right there. Right? Jesus and my man Joel Santana.
Word. No way.
Nah, he wasn't born on the
Okay.
25th at all, but Joel Santana, wherever you at, man, yo, hold your head, bro. I know it's hard for you out there. You know what I'm saying?
What's your sign?
I'm a Sag. I'm the
You're a
almighty,
Sag?
yeah,
Word.
almighty Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now what has happened? We've changed it
What do you mean?
to Manitaris.
To what?
To Manitaris.
Manitaris?
Yeah, Manitaris. It's no longer called Sagittarius.
Manitaris.
It's called
What about
Manitaris.
the womanitaris?
No, that's what I'm saying, because we don't want to just, you know what I mean, get rid of them. So we just say, man, like you both. Y'all already both of us anyway. Y'all already know y'all cheat codes, so we ain't even playing.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Love.
Heard
Love
you.
is love. Empowerment. You feeling New York City right now,
Yes.
showing you a lot of love.
Loving this. Definitely love and testing me and pushing me. You
At
know,
the same time.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's all that. There's another painter who I wanted to mention, Anton Vitkovsky.
Okay.
Hopefully I pronounced that right. He is like one of my best friends. He's amazing. But he's like definitely taught me a lot about putting those hours in. We're a little bit different because I don't think he would feel the same about respecting the time in between pieces and the moments of like just steadiness and being with yourself versus like being with your art. I think he's more the 80-hour work week type artist, where it's just like, you know, plugging in the studio and not even thinking about what you're making, just making. But I really, even though I don't create in the same process, I really have learned a lot from that, for sure, and respect that.
Yeah,
He's
that's
very dope,
hard. That's
right?
hard.
Yeah.
80-hour weeks is
Yo, I don't think I can do anything 80 hours a week. Smoke weed, maybe.
Like 20s, baby. If you do 120s.
Oh, yeah,
Word.
Mav does 120. Matter of fact, Mav does 1,000. Excuse me. He does 1,000 hours a week.
Isn't that the rule? 1,000 hours in your master or something?
10,000.
10,000 hours?
10,000. Yeah,
Word.
I'm in my 9,000 hours right now. I'm not in my 10s yet. I'm in my 9,000. I still got some time to go.
Word. Yeah, same. We all do.
Well, what color belt do you think you have in the art school dojo?
Ooh. What are the levels of belts?
Oh, just pick a color. I
Start
don't
out
care.
with
Just
white.
name it. Listen, man.
I can say whatever I want.
You can say whatever you want. All right, well, this is a
Brown.
creative school. We got spaceships in this school too. We got all types of stuff, hoverboards, all that. As kids, all this.
Definitely a brown. I'm still learning. I still have it's definitely still have a lot of hours to put into the studio. I just feel like when I look at my work, I see something more that I can be creating. And I feel like until I get to I guess that's always going to be the case, though, you know? You never really get to a space where you're like, I've done it, you know? There's always more to do.
I feel you. So, just to let you know, brown is like right there, though. Brown is like.
Oh, really?
right
Brown
there.
is right next to
Brown
the
is like
black?
right next to the black. Yeah. So you. Brown is next to the black. Go on your Google right now and tell me what the brown is.
It's white then brown.
No, it's not. It's white then yellow.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's yellow.
Bet. Real bet.
Google right
I
now.
think you're right. I think it's brown than black. I'm pretty sure.
I know what I'm talking about. I watch Dragon Ball Z. Shout out to all everybody that's tuning in. Yo, for everybody else that is also tuning in, yo, recap, right? Zippy had a bomb-ass show, Concrete Nature. That was fire, right? Jess, you got your show coming up
I
this
do.
Saturday, 1639.
February 20th. Got another one.
We got that going on. And no, if you're free, right? Sunday, BAM is holding a comic book show from 11 to 5. It's free. So if you're out there and all that, all you comic book enthusiasts, come on out. You know what I'm saying? Bam, downtown
Sure.
Brooklyn, 4th Street.
Um,
What?
It's next to white.
no way. Okay.
For real?
No.
All right.
I'm lying. He was right.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know the brown. I know everything brown. I know everything brown. What are you talking about? Yo, don't come up here with that fake news. You heard? Got time for fake news. Alternative facts and all that. We ain't got time for that. Yo, it's been a wonderful one. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to big up and things?
Oh, definitely. I'm just gonna say some names real quick. Hillary. Shout out to Unruly Collective. Shout out to Marcus. Super close to him. One of my best friends. Musician. Just amazing. So much talent. So many people who have inspired me. Anton and Alex. Thank you for everything that you've taught me. Gotta send love back to Washington, back to my parents, back to my family. Thank you. Yeah, everybody. I can't cover everybody, but thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. Another episode of Art School. Episode. Listen, I could have had heart failure or something, and y'all laughing at me live on air. That's messed up, y'all. You supposed to do this during the this. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to do this. What's wrong with y'all? That's why, yo. You know what? That's why all of y'all feet stink. You feel me? Shout outs to all the ladies out there that's wearing the sexy boots tonight because you're about to go see your boo.
Shout out to S.STREET.
S.STREET Media, you know what I'm saying? Math in the back being a super engineer. He got a haircut too. He feeling himself. Heard you.
Fresh.
You know what I'm saying? Heard super duper clean. Yo, January 27th, 2019, another episode. Yo, we appreciate you. Math, whenever you ready, you know what I'm saying? We're going to end this off. Big ups to you, Jess. We
Peace.
appreciate
Thank
you.
Yeah, super
Always
sweet.
loving things, you know what I'm saying?
Lots
You
of
know what I'm
love.
saying? All that good stuff. I've been rocking with the second line because my second line is too fine. You heard? You already know. Two shine with the two wands. I don't even know. I want to talk to, I got Sadaf. She coming up next. Pitter Patter Creative. She's pretty cool.
Right.
Dean, you know what I mean? Educator. Wonderful, wonderful soul. You know? Yo, whenever you ready.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? Big facts. We out of here. Thank
Spread
you.
more love.
Love y'all.
What I like an actor, rascals who come on and roll with me. Roll with me. Rock with me. Just roll with me. Rock with me. Come on and roll with me. Rock with me. Roll with me. Who that shot deep boy? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot love monkey? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot Doc Gutter? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Who that shot your people? Gotta get him, gotta get him. Everybody dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, hip, hip, dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, hip, dip, baby dip. Slide that booty, hip, dip, baby dip. Wipe your ear, mama don't cry. Mama don't cry. Sick, never do a thing. Mama don't cry. Drugs and prostitution, people will die. Mama don't cry. Say there's no cure for AIDS, that's a lie. Mama don't cry. 10 years from now, where will I be? Mama don't cry. Will I shine like a star, bright as the eyes can see? Mama don't cry. Will I be kicking the breeze, hanging on St. Philip Street? Mama don't cry. All I can ask is six, come on and roll with me. Give me a dime. Oh, give me a dime. Baby, give me a dime. I got give me a dime. They got rocks, they got coke, and they got dope. They got weed, they got speed, and they got we got fits, we got straights, and we got choke.